Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with the cloudy conditions this morning with temperatures holding in the mid-30s and those winds staying fairly light out of the north. We are seeing those ceilings a bit lower than expected with the current ceiling around 500 feet at this time. I do expect some breaks into clouds as we get into the afternoon, but overall, outside of a few light sprinkles or flurries possibly this morning, should see a fairly quiet weather day ahead before we'll see another chance of some light snow briefly swinging through the area during the overnight time frame, but once again not expecting any significant accumulation with that, maybe up to a dusting possible. As we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have the boundary pushed through the area overnight, sitting off to our south and southeast, and we're going to see that boundary kind of linger there as we move through the next 24 hours, and along that we're going to see some energy transferring mainly through the south of the local area, and that's going to bring a chance of maybe some moisture making it up into the local Wallops area this evening, bringing a few light snow chances, but again, overall not expecting anything too significant with that as that pushes out of the area in the coming days. If we look at the current visible satellite and composite radar here, see still tracking some light radar returns off to our west, mainly going to track south of the area, but still seeing those light returns possibly mixing into the local area, and that's going to bring that slight chance or very slight chance of maybe a few sprinkles or maybe even flurries, although it's a bit warm for that. Mainly just going to see those cloudy lower clouds stick around until we see this bit of reflectivity passing through the area, and then, as mentioned, should see mostly cloudy conditions through the rest of the day, but possibly a few breaks as we get later in the afternoon. Take a look at the high resolution model for what we can expect for the next day or two. As mentioned, we'll stay dry outside of that very slight chance of a light sprinkle this morning, and we do expect some breaks in the clouds, although this particular model is showing clouds overcast through the daytime hours, but will generally be mostly cloudy. As we get into the evening, we see the model kind of indicating that light reflectivity making it just into the Wallops area. Better chance it makes it to the southern portion of the Delmarva Peninsula, but again, as mentioned, not going to amount to much more than some flurries, maybe a brief light shower, snow shower, and again, not accumulating much up to a dusting possible, but we'll see that pulling out as we go into the sunrise time frame on Thursday, with that precip continuing to move off to the east and southeast, and things will start to clear out as we move through the day on Thursday. Looking at fairly similar temperatures for Thursday into Friday, with some slightly cooler temperatures after the milder day yesterday, but moving into the day on Friday, we will continue to see some mixing of partly to mostly cloudy conditions. As we zoom out here, look at the longer term forecast, we'll see our next chance for some precip will be late Friday, after Friday looking fairly quiet through much of the day. We'll see another more potent trough and front pushing through the area late Friday. That's going to bring a chance for some light snow once again, but similarly we will see little in the way of accumulation, mainly a dusting up to a few tenths of an inch as this pushes through, but the bigger story will be on the backside of this as an area low pressure develops off to our east, well off the coast. We're going to see that pressure gradient tightening over the region. It's going to bring some very windy conditions as well as some Arctic air into the area, back to those very cold conditions, and those wind chill values looking to be in the single digits, possibly at or below zero at times, and those wind gusts could see up 40 miles per hour or above during the day on Saturday. We'll continue to see some breezy and cold conditions as we linger into Sunday as well, but things looking dry, and high pressure slowly builds into the area moving into Monday, so that's going to help those winds settle down as we go into the beginning of next week. Additionally, we're going to see these thickness values start to rise as we go through the middle portion of the week, and that's going to be a good sign for a return to those moderating temperatures as things look to remain dry. We'll see more seasonable temperatures as we get back into the middle of the week, with maybe some light precip chances as we get later in the week. If we take a look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, have introduced an orange risk for those reduced ceilings and visibilities this morning as we continue to see some of those lower clouds sticking around. Otherwise, just a very slight chance of some sprinkles or flurries at times. We'll stay overcast. We'll see temperatures peaking at 39 degrees as we get into the first part of the afternoon here, and we'll see those winds shifting a bit more northeasterly, 7 to 12 knots, with maybe a few peak gusts up around 17 knots during the afternoon time frame as we get those lower clouds to start breaking. We'll stay mostly cloudy as we go into the evening time frame. Again, with that precip passing to the south, we'll keep a yellow risk for that chance of some light snow, possibly making it into the local area. Better chance of that points south. But again, looking at little to no accumulation, maybe up to a dusting possible, but generally just expecting some light flurries with that, with the exception of seeing a lighter shower move through. See cooler temperatures settling in with a low expected around 23 degrees with those partly cloudy skies to start the day on Thursday. Our tides running slightly above normal today. And as we look at the extended forecast here, we'll see partly cloudy conditions for Thursday, high of 36, so slightly cooler. Similar temperatures for Friday, but we'll see those increasing clouds ahead of that next front. So it's going to bring that chance for some late PM light snow. Looks to be about a 40% chance at this time, as well as those colder temperatures. We'll see those high temperatures back down into the 20s for Saturday and Sunday. Low temperatures back down into the teens, possibly close to single digits as we go overnight Saturday into early morning Sunday. And again, with those windy conditions, going to make those wind chills quite chilly down into the single digits, possibly below zero at times. And then as we move overnight Sunday into Monday, GFS model does have a chance of maybe some light precip, so just a 15% chance, nothing too significant. Most likely not going to come together for that. But we'll see a mix of partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we move Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, with some increased clouds during the afternoon and evening time. But we will start to see those temperatures moderating up back into the 30s for Monday, and we'll see temperatures climbing back into the 40s as we get into midweek, back to more seasonable norms for this time of year. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again at 8:15 tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day.